You guys waiting on me? Good afternoon, Scouts and Scouters, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today to recognize and honor John DeSalvo, Caroline Fink, Harrison Fink, Zach Foss, and Ty Schaber. Scouts from 282 who have attained Scouting's highest rank of Eagle. My name is Rich Chera, and as a representative of the Heart of America Council and the Boy Scouts of America, and unit leader and former Scoutmaster and current Eagle Scout mentor of Troop 282, I declare this Eagle Scout Corps of Honor to be officially convened. As we begin, I would like to recognize some of our special distinguished guests, as well as our 282 leaders. As your name is called, please stand to be recognized. Charter Organization Representative Mike Coffey. Troop 282 Scoutmaster Ryan Felton. Troop 282 Senior Patrol Leader Hattie Solomon. Troop 282 Eagle Coordinator Michael Wegner. And Troop 282 Eagle Court of Honor Coordinator Amber Lutz. Already standing. Welcome all of you, and thank you for being here. Today, 5 honorees represent over 48 years of scouting. These fine young scouts represent the best in all of us and continue a long tradition of Troop 282 Scouts becoming Eagles. I will now call forward our honored Eagle Scout candidates with their escorts. Eagle candidates, as I announce your name, please come forward with your escorts. Our first Eagle Scout candidate is Caroline Fink. Caroline Kathleen Fink began her scouting journey in September 2021 on a campout in Knob Noster, Missouri. During that trip, she joined others for a 20-mile bike ride and was unsure whether she would be able to finish. At the time, she even wondered whether scouting was really for her. Inspired by the experiences of her siblings, and especially intrigued by her brother Harrison's Cub Scout Pinewood Derby builds, Caroline eventually constructed her own Outlaw Division Pinewood Derby car and raced it in Harrison's pack. What began with uncertainty soon became perseverance, and Caroline ultimately found her place in scouting. Caroline is a member of Troop 792 and the younger sister of fellow Eagle Scout Myra Fink. During her time in the troop, she served in several positions of responsibility, including patrol leader, scribe, senior patrol leader. She especially enjoyed spending 3 summers at H. Rowe Bartle Scout Reservation and camping throughout the year in both cold and warm weather. At Bartle, Caroline loves the Ecology Lodge and the wildlife that surrounds the reservation. Her enthusiasm for wildlife even led to an unforgettable moment when she picked up a bat near the Piercing Arrow Dining Hall and later had to receive rabies vaccinations, a story she will likely never forget. Caroline is also an ordeal member of the Order of the Arrow, Scouting's National Honor Camping Society. For her Eagle Scout project, Caroline partnered with Operation Breakthrough in Kansas City, Missouri, where she created an outdoor play and education space for children. Her project included building a mud kitchen designed to encourage creativity and imaginative play for the students served by the organization. Caroline is a freshman at the Barstow School, where she participates in volleyball and cheerleading. She has worked for the past 2 years at Chick-fil-A on Ward Parkway, where she has developed a strong work ethic and valuable experience serving others. In her free time, Caroline enjoys arts and crafts and is known by the family and friends for her resilience, tenacity, and sense of humor. As she receives the rank of Eagle Scout, Caroline would like to thank her parents, Matthew and Kristen Fink, her grandfather, Richard Fink, and her Scoutmasters, Rachel Herrera, Angel Halls, Jason Van Sickle, for their scouting countless hours of encouragement and support throughout her scouting journey. Our next Eagle Scout candidate is John DeSalvo, escorted by Shannon and Chris DeSalvo. John began his scouting career with Pack 3381 at Corinth Elementary in first grade. He had lots of fun and made many friends within the pack. He had his first camp out at Camp Nash and loved it. His favorite memories from Cub Scouts was climbing the big climbing tower in record time. John crossed over to Troop 282 in 2021 and quickly fell in love with Scouts. The new schedule and monthly campouts made it a big jump from Cub Scouts. In addition to dozens of 282 campouts across the Kansas City area, John enjoyed attending Camp Bartle 4 times and the Pikes Peak High Adventure Trip on his path to earning his Eagle Scout rank. John developed lifelong leadership skills serving as quartermaster, troop quartermaster, assistant senior patrol leader, and senior patrol leader. Undoubtedly, these experiences and relationships will serve him well. Overall, in the last 5 years, he has had many unforgettable experiences and created lifelong memories. John earned his Eagle Scout rank February 19th, 2026. His Eagle Scout project was building cornhole storage unit for Special Olympics of Kansas. John designed, planned, and executed the whole project. He completed the build and installation with the help of some fellow scouts and leaders. John's favorite scouting memories include his first ever camp out, every year at Camp Bartle, the canoe trip, cooking smoked salmon on a piece of cedar over the fire, and summiting Pikes Peak with his dad. These memories, with the many campfire stories and scout-cooked meals, these memories came with many campfire stories and scout-cooked meals. John is finishing his freshman year at Shawnee Mission East High School. He played school football and club soccer. He intends to pursue a degree and career in mechanical engineering. He hopes that his scouting journey is not over, but continues with his new achievement added to the list. Our next Eagle Scout candidate is Harrison Fink, escorted by Kristen and Matthew Fink. Harrison Matthew Fink began his scouting journey in the fall of 2018 as a Tiger Cub in Pack 3381 at Corinth Elementary. From the start, he developed a love for camping and outdoor adventure. During his Cub Scout years, he especially enjoyed attending Bear Camp and 2 summers of Weebles Camp at Theodore Nash Scout Reservation in Bonner Springs. One of Harrison's favorite Cub Scout traditions was the Pinewood Derby. After years of refining the engineering of his Pinewood Derby cars, he was proud to earn 4th place in Weeblos Division 1. Harrison joined Troop 282 in November of 2022, where he has enjoyed camping and spending time outdoors with many of his closest friends. During his time in the troop, he has served in several leadership roles, including patrol leader, senior patrol leader, camp senior patrol leader. Harrison has also been one of the troop's top greenery salesmen each of the 3 years he has participated. Each October and November, he can be found tirelessly pounding the pavement, enthusiastically hustling greenery sales to support the troop. Harrison has especially enjoyed his summers at H. Rowe Bartle Scout Reservation. There he became a foxman and is currently being considered for the membership of the tribe of Mickasay. He is also a Brotherhood member of the Order of the Arrow. Both Mickasay and the Order of the Arrow are honor camping societies recognizing dedication to camping, leadership, and service. Harrison is currently an 8th grade student at the Barstow School. In his free time, he enjoys spending time outdoors with his neighborhood friends and climbing at the local gym, where he practices both bouldering and rock climbing. At home, Harrison is known as a dependable and responsible member of the household, always willing to lend a hand. As he receives the rank of Eagle Scout, Harrison would like to thank his grandfather, Richard Fink, his father, Matthew Fink, and his mother, Kristen Fink, his Cub Master, Mr. Richard Chera, and his Scoutmaster, Mr. Ryan Felton, for their guidance, encouragement, and support throughout his scouting journey. Our next Eagle Scout candidate is Zach Foss, escorted by Mary McNaughton and Carl Foss. Zach started his scouting career in 2014 as a Cub Scout in Pack 3197. He enjoyed a weekend at Scouting 500, 2 stormy experiences at Camp Nash Scouting Reservation, and several camping trips where he found his love of hiking, rappelling, whittling, and general exploring. He crossed over into Boy Scout Troop 282 in the fall of 2018, where his yearning for adventure only expanded. He enjoyed 3 years at Bartle, a notable trip to the Rocky Mountain High Adventure Base Camp, and dozens of individual campouts with his close friends and fellow scouts. He went on to learn several lifetime leadership skills, serving once as a quartermaster, once as a patrol leader, and several times as assistant senior patrol leader. In early 2024, he earned 282's Outstanding Scout Award for his continued leadership in the troop. Zach earned his Eagle Scout rank in October of 2025, just 6 hours before his 18th birthday. I remember it. His Eagle project was to build sturdy wooden shelving units designed for large musical instruments in support of his high school band. Zach is in his senior year of high school at Shawnee Mission South High School and plans to study music education with an emphasis in composition at the University of Central Missouri in the fall. Majors that will both utilize the discipline and leadership skills developed in Scouts. Our next Eagle Scout candidate is Ty Schaber, escorted by Brett Maxwell. Ty started his journey in scouting with Cub Scout Pack 3297 at Highlands Elementary as a first grader. He enjoyed attending pack meetings, and his favorite Cub Scout activity was the Pinewood Derby. Ty crossed over into Boy Scouts in 2019 with an area troop before joining Troop 282 in 2022. During his scouting years, Ty has held multiple leadership roles, including Junior Assistant Scoutmaster. He has been on countless campouts with canoeing being his most enjoyed activity. Ty's fondest Scout memories were at H. Row Bartle Scout Reservation, which he attended from 2019 to 2024. Even after torrential downpours, heat warnings, and mandatory masking, Ty always returned wishing he could attend a second session every summer. Ty reached the rank of Eagle Scout on December 18th, 2025. For his Eagle project, Ty set out to collect 40 backpacks and fill them with school supplies for recently arriving refugee families resettling through Mission Adelante. Because of community generosity and help from fellow Scouts and his family, Ty exceeded his goal and collected and filled 75 backpacks, meeting the need for additional families. Scouts has taught Ty many life lessons, like how to keep going even when things feel hard. That lesson was learned spending freezing cold days and evenings working at 2 different Christmas tree lots and on cleanup projects. He learned that working together as a team gets more done. And he learned that sometimes a few words can turn around a bad day, especially for younger Scouts. Ty will graduate in May 2026 from Shawnee Mission East, where he participated in band, choir, and track. He plans to attend Johnson County Community College in the fall. I now ask our Senior Patrol Leader, Hattie Solomon, to instruct the color guard as they post the colors. Thank you, Carter. I now ask our Senior Patrol Leader, Hattie Solomon, to instruct the color guard as they post the colors.
Allow me to introduce the color guard. Wade Lutz, Wells Marin Bourvant, Brody Maxwell, and Carter Wild. Everyone please rise. Color guard attention. Color guard please advance. Color guard, post the colors. Scouts attention. Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guards dismissed. Scout and Scouters, please remain standing. The rest of you may be seated. Scouts, please raise the Scout sign with me and give the Scout oath. On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey Scout law at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And now the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. You may be seated. Chaplain's aide Walker Kerr, please come forward and lead us in prayer.
Please join me in prayer. We gather together now, away from all the busyness and activity of the day, to consider that we are also bound to the spiritualness and timelessness. We thank you for the gift of strength and perseverance, and we ask for your continued guidance as we serve our communities. May our accomplishments inspire others to strive for excellence and to be always prepared to help others. Amen.
As former Scoutmaster, I extend my welcome to all of you present today. Thank you for being here and sharing yourselves with us as part of this special ceremony. Having 2 Eagle Scouts and one that's almost there in my family, I have special appreciation for what this ceremony today means for the candidates and their families for many years to come. I also recognize that there are other Eagle Scouts in attendance today, and I would like to ask that they all stand and be recognized. I would like to take the opportunity to welcome you and ask you to introduce yourself by telling us your name and the troop, city, and year in which you earned the rank of Eagle.
So Michael Wecker, Troop 291, Granite Falls, Minnesota, March of 1985. Good afternoon, my name is Mike Coffey, and I came from Troop 30 in Rocky Mount, Virginia, 8 people in 1970.
I'm Edward Kerr, Walker's father, and I was Troop 16, Kansas City, 1982. Matt Hill, Troop 211 in Augusta, Kansas, May of 1990.
Nobody's going to check. All right.
Dennis Toms, Kansas City, Missouri, and Pink Mills, I guess. And I was Eagle in, I believe, 1970.
Larry Fink, Troop 2, Troop 83, Kansas City, Missouri, November 1961.
Matt Fink, Troop 315, Olathe, Kansas. I think it was April 94.
No one's going to check, Matt. Thanks, Rick. Keep them honest. Well, thank you all. You may be seated. It's great to have you here. Scoutmaster Felton, Eagle Coordinator Wegner, and Charter Organization Representative Coffey, will you please come to the podium for the Eagle Candle Ceremony, and will the Eagle candidates prepare the fire?
This is the story of the Eagle Trail, the trail that you have worked hard to reach and now have successfully accomplished. We remember well when you first started your hike on this trail. There were many others with you at that time, but their determination and perseverance was not as strong as yours. But you took on the promise of the Scout Oath as you pledged on your honor to do your best, and so you became a Scout.
We also remember watching as you took your first few steps on the steep trail that leads upwards. You began to build yourself physically, mentally, and morally. At first, your fellow scouts called you tenderfoot, and they were right. You were indeed a tenderfoot.
Some scouts stop after the first few steps and never proceed further. Others, like yourselves, continued up the trail. You began to actively go on campouts and to learn scouting skills. You became a second-class scout. Then, as you studied more and began to master certain skills, you reached the first ledge on the trail and earned the rank of first class.
The first class rank is not the end of the trail, as so many scouts often think, but instead it is a solid foundation on which to continue. It is at this point on your trail that you begin to use the skills you receive from scouting to lead other scouts. Leadership positions in the troop and service hours to the community, in addition to merit badges, are required to obtain the next level. You successfully stayed on the path and obtained the rank of Star Scout.
Now, the trail was steeper. The path was much less worn. Fewer scouts seemed to be heading in your direction. You looked back and saw the crowds below you. You looked up and saw only a few above you. With a determination, you continued on the trail and became a life scout.
Most scouts will never forget when they receive the life badge, which is shaped like a heart. They often realize that they are only one step away from Eagle. Unfortunately, many scouts stop at this level and never proceed on. This may be due to the fact that the hardest part of the trail is still ahead. In addition to the responsibilities and requirements necessary to get this far, you now had your Eagle project standing in your path.
Many scouts find the camping, cooking, and fellowshipping with other scouts fun and exciting. They even like earning merit badges, but it takes resolve and maturity to successfully complete an Eagle project. You must plan it, think through every detail and contingency. You next have to present it to a board made up of adults that are not part of our troop. Then you must lead other scouts in the project and project fundraising. Afterwards, you have to spend a lot of time documenting what was done and how that helped the charity or community involved.
Becoming an Eagle Scout is a special part of Scouting. Since its induction in 1911, the Eagle Scout rank has been earned by about 2.5 million young men out of more than 100 million Scouts. Thus, only 2% of Scouting America membership successfully completes the climb. Troop 282 is proud to claim that our Eagle percentage is significantly higher than the national average. From 1958 to present, we have had over 300 Troop 282 Scouts who have achieved the rank of Eagle.
Troop 282 was established in 1958 and has had a tremendous propensity to create Eagle Scouts. Today, we are proud to add these young adults to their respective troops' Eagle's Nest, and the title of Eagle Scout is held for life, thus giving rise to the phrase, once an Eagle, always an Eagle. As a troop, we're very proud of all of you.
And now Mr. Chair is going to come back up and introduce those who are going to give the charges for today. But as we're talking about this over 300 scouts that have achieved this rank in this troop, I'd encourage all of you, when you go downstairs later today, to just take a look at the board that's down there, because all 300 plus names are down there. And yes, all 4 of you, in case you did not see it, your names are on the board today. You guys can sit.
We will now hear from some very special adults who have been with you on the trail to Eagle and were selected by you to give you your Eagle charge. John DeSalvo's Eagle charge will be given by his mother, Shannon DeSalvo.
Hello. John, as your mom, I feel so, excuse me. Of course, I got a cold 2 days ago. John, as your mom, I feel so proud to be here today, celebrating not just your achievement of Eagle Scout, but celebrating you and the young man that you've become. I know I speak on behalf of all your family and friends, especially your dad, Chris, and your sister, Evelyn, that we are inspired by you and all that you've accomplished at such a young age. It is cliche, but it seems like just yesterday we bought your Cub Scout uniform and took you to your first meeting at Corinth Elementary when you were just 6 years old. Many of your friends were joining Cub Scouts, and so that's what you wanted to do too. But over the years, some of your friends dropped out due to busy schedules or different interests, and you stayed committed. You loved all the scouting activities so much, especially building your Pinewood Derby car that you did every year with your dad for that big race, camping out at Camp Nash, climbing the huge 60-foot climbing wall, which you were very proud to say that you got to the top on your first try. But I don't think you stayed in Scouts for the fun activities. You showed us at a very young age that when you started something, you were going to finish it. You were not one to easily give up, and that has been a trait that we have seen you model time and time again. Even when playing club soccer, working on your confirmation at church, and attending all of your Boy Scout meetings made for a very busy 8th grade year, you stayed committed to scouting. Your goal was to achieve your Eagle Scout rank, and here we are today. You did it. Dad definitely attended more of those cold weather campouts than I did. January camping is not for everyone. I remember when I heard they were going to go camping in January, and I said, are you kidding me? No, they're not. Although I do have very fond memories of camping out with you at one chilly campout, and that was at the Crum Farm for our annual Friendsgiving, and that was very special. However, the memories that stand out the most for me are witnessing you as a scout at Camp Bartle, the big 10-day summer camp. I remember when Carter's mom, Courtney, said that I should come down and camp out for a few nights. And I thought, oh, I don't think John wants his mom down there at camp. Fortunately, at the age of 11, you thought it was cool. So we actually started a tradition of moms coming down for a few nights each year to Bartle, and that I hope that tradition continues. Although the moms camped several yards away, I will cherish that chance to sit back and watch you in true scout form from afar. I got to see you be a leader, a friend, a curious learner, a creative engineer, especially when it came to making the lightest and fastest boat for the boat race. So when people come to you and ask for bubble wrap and styrofoam, there's a reason. And most of all, survive out in the woods overnight with only a tarp, a water bottle, and a pocket knife. I remember you coming up to me the next morning very early and looking very, very haggard. And you said, "Oh, it was awesome, Mom, but I do wish I would have raked out the rocks underneath my tarp a little bit better." Needless to say, it made me so proud to see how much you grew as a young scout and as a young man over those 10 days every summer. There also wasn't a day that went by that a leader or a parent did not come up to me and compliment you in some way. I often heard, "John sure is a great leader," or, "Gosh, we just love having John here at camp. He's really great with the younger scouts." Those are words a parent loves to hear. When it came time for John to choose his Eagle Scout project, he told us that he wanted to do something for the Special Olympics of Kansas. So we met with the director, and he told John that he really needed a storage unit for their cornhole boards, as this had become a very popular sport amongst all of the athletes. Even if they struggled with their vision or their hearing or were missing an arm or had a weak leg, they could still play cornhole. So over the next few months, John designed, funded, managed, built, and delivered a storage unit for the cornhole boards, and throughout the entire process, he refused any help offered by Chris or me. If we tried to offer it, he would say, "Mom, I have to do this myself," and that he did. On build day, he recruited some younger scouts along with Grandpa Lou, Chris, Mr. Wegner, Mr. Lutz, to help him with the final assembly and delivery, but he was definitely the project manager. And this touches me on a deeper level because my dad, who was a general contractor and owned a construction company, passed away this January and does not get to be here today or on Zoom to witness his grandson achieve this Eagle rank. He really enjoyed hearing all about John's design process and drawings. In fact, when I would tell my dad about John's project, he would often say, "John's a lot like me," which I would agree. In addition to all the family support that John has had over the years, I'd like to also extend a special thank you to his fellow scouts, troop leaders, volunteer parents, and friends. As many say, raising a child takes a village, but raising a scout takes an army. So many of you in this room and those watching on Zoom have guided, supported, and challenged John over his scouting career, and we are so grateful for each and every one of you. I'd like to close by saying, John, continue striving for all that you want to achieve. Continue to be the young man that doesn't give up and always stays committed. Continue to be curious, creative, driven. I think I can speak on behalf of many that we love being a witness to all that you've accomplished, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I stole this actually when watching another Eagle Scout ceremony, and I believe it was Carter's stepmom. I asked some family members to give me one word to describe you, so I'd like to close with that. Here are some of them. John is determined, detail-oriented, driven, dedicated, perseverant, resourceful, motivated, confident, astute, smart, a leader, earnest, focused, entrepreneurial, kind, and handsome. Congratulations on achieving the Eagle Scout rank, and more importantly, we love you and we're so proud of you.
Shannon, I agree with you on the January campouts. Matthew Fink will now deliver the charges for both Caroline and Harrison Fink.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before I start with Caroline's charge, I wanted to acknowledge our appreciation to Mr. Felton and Mr. Siders for allowing us to host also our daughter Caroline in Troop 792 as part of 282's Eagle Court of Honor. And I'd like to express gratitude for all of you from Troop 792 being here to support Caroline. Thank you very much. A special thank you to Scoutmaster Rachel Herrera, Jason Van Sickle, who is the committee chair, and the former Scoutmaster, and Matt Teal, also the committee chair, former committee chair. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. And just a quick round of applause for them. Thank you, Troop 792. Caroline Kathleen Fink. This afternoon, we celebrate your accomplishment. You've earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Though you've achieved something lofty, donning your Eagle scarf is not the end of the road. The rank of Eagle is a standard, one that you now carry with you into every room, into every relationship, and one that will inform every decision you make going forward. My dear darling daughter, describing you, I'd start very simply. You're just somebody who people love to be around. You're charismatic and bright. Your wit, quick, incisive, mordant. You pick everything up fast, and you're not afraid to say what you see and feel. Your mom and I, your troop mates, saw that during your time as senior patrol leader. You led by being engaged, present, funny, and organized. People respond to that. Yours is the kind of leadership that is natural, durable, and that tends to last because you know things. You have instincts for what's right, and you're not afraid to speak your mind. Beyond those things, you work hard. You've balanced your responsibilities at school, earning strong grades, while meeting your obligations with scouts and volleyball and cheerleading. In addition to all of that, Mama and I have been incredibly proud to see you embrace hard work at your job at Chick-fil-A. The kind of steady effort you've displayed over time, it builds character and success. No account of your 4-year journey in Scouts is complete without reminiscing about your experiences at H. Roe Bartle Scout Reservation. 3 summers and countless memories, but one that certainly stands out. You picked up and handled an injured bat outside the Piercing Arrow Dining Hall one night before dinner. And although I've been disappointed that you didn't sprout wings or start using echolocation to get you from point A to B, you certainly developed preternatural courage and showed it in how you handled the rabies vaccine series, of which you were abjectly terrified. You are a resilient human, and you always have been. When something unpleasant or unexpected happens, you don't cower or collapse. You adapt and you move forward, one step by one. That brings me to the Scout Law. I was thinking about 3 different points of the law that I thought might describe you best, and I came up with friendly, cheerful, and brave. Not in a performative way, but you are genuinely, sincerely friendly. You put people at ease, and you demonstrate fealty to all who call themselves your friend. You're cheerful, not because things are always easy, but because you possess a superpower for positivity. You give energy, the right kind, all the time, especially when others seem to falter, and I'm always proud to see that. Most of all, you are brave. You don't shy away from things that are uncertain or uncomfortable. You lean into those things, even when you don't know how they will end up, and maybe even especially then. So, my charge to you, these qualities you possess, your ability to connect with others, your work ethic, your resilience, your courage, they're not just personality traits. They are tools, and they've been gifted to you by God, and those tools come with a responsibility to use them well. So, I charge you to continue to be friendly, to include others, those who might feel ostracized, and to make people feel welcome. I charge you to continue to be cheerful when others won't or can't. Give that cheerful energy you have so much to others when they lose theirs. And finally, I charge you to continue to be brave. Take on the challenges that matter, especially when others hesitate. If you do those things, you'll be more than just some random person that wears the Eagle Scout badge. You'll live up to the Eagle standard that so many have set before you, including your uncle. Caroline, your mom, Lammy, and Gramps, Nana, and Pop, and I are incredibly proud of you. You are an accomplished, talented young woman. You reflect tremendously on our family and your troop and your community. Go forward. Continue to be cheerful, friendly, and brave. Your mom and I love you, and we are very proud of you. Do you want me to stay up here? Okay. Okay. Harrison Matthew, son, just like your sister, your mom and I are incredibly proud of you. Little bro, my man, you take care of things. Your business, your family, you follow through on all the things that you say you're going to do all the time. There's a steadiness, an equanimous quality about you and your disposition that gives everyone around you a sense that you're a man upon whom they can rely. You hustle. I see it in all the domains of your life. On the basketball court, you're the glue guy, the dude who plays defense, and the man who does all the little things to give your teammates opportunities to succeed. Your coaches and teammates know exactly what they're getting from you every time you step out on that court. Boundless energy, unceasing effort, dogged defense. As a scout, you're reliable at camp and on campouts, and at meetings too. You do the little things, the thankless things that ensure that tents are pitched, food is prepped, dishes are done. You hustle every Christmas season, pounding the pavement, selling greenery, and you set an incredibly strong example by always doing the little things that help the troop run smoothly. In the classroom, straight A's. You're reliable. You complete your work on time, study for tests in advance. Your teachers sing your praises and compliment your courteous and conscientious approach to interactions with faculty and with your friends. So, son, when I think about the Scout Law for you, it's hard to narrow it down to a couple of points that define you. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind. You check those boxes, man, except sometimes not clean. You exemplify the Scout Law in a way that feels natural, effortless. So what stands out to me isn't one trait, but consistency across all 12 or 11. Harrison, your mom and I have been especially proud watching you take on leadership in this troop. You were a fastidiously organized quartermaster and an engaged senior patrol leader. You led by example, and you moved things forward for your fellow scouts. My man, you have done those things in a way that has earned respect from your friends, from the adult leaders in the troop, and from your mom, me, and other members of your family. The way you balance all of your growing number of responsibilities is something about which you should be incredibly proud. You've committed yourself to your troop. You've succeeded in your efforts at school. You've improved on the basketball court. And you've grown into a strong young man upon whom your family and your community can rely. None of that has happened by accident. You've achieved those things because you take care of business and you attend to details every day. Son, I charge you to continue to be the man upon whom your family, friends, and your community can rely. I challenge you to continue to follow through with what you say you're going to do, always. And I charge you to continue to lead, not from the front necessarily, but by doing what has to be done all the time, quietly. With virtue and courage and reverence for God, son, people, they're always going to follow you because you just do stuff. As an eagle, I challenge you to encourage others around you to do like you do. Help them hustle with you. I'm proud of you, Harry. Keep taking care of your business.
And now Zach Foss's Eagle Charge will be conducted by Andres Vicuna, former advancement coordinator for Troop 282.
All right. Zach, we're here today because you have reached the summit. But in true Zach fashion, I think we should acknowledge that you didn't just hike to this summit. You essentially performed a sprint to the peak with about 6 hours to spare before the clock struck midnight on your 18th birthday. In the time I've been at 282, your Eagle Board of Review might be the only one that required a stopwatch and a prayer. You have a knack for making that impossible happen at the very last second. So it's fitting that at Rimhab, your nickname was Lucky Charm. The Scouts affectionately gave you that nickname as they believed that only good things happen when you were around. A true testament to your friendly, kind disposition and spirit. However, we know that luck usually has a little bit of help. Zach specifically asked me to mention that today that he didn't get here entirely on his own. In fact, he wanted it on the record that his mother may have had to hit him with a stick, metaphorically speaking, of course, to ensure that he crossed to the finish line. Zach, while we laugh about the timeline today, there's a lesson here as you move into adulthood. The world won't always have a Lucky Charm or a mom with a stick to keep you on track. The discipline of an Eagle Scout isn't just about finishing the task, it's about mastering the time you're given. As you go forward, I charge you to take that same energy you used to beat the clock and apply it to a lifetime of steady, purposeful preparation. Now, time management is a skill, but character is part of your soul. And I believe that's where you truly shine. I choke up easily, sorry guys. As a musical composer, you don't just hear notes, you hear stories. I have watched you take the heavy experiences of your peers, their stories of loss and grief, and translate them into music. That level of empathy is rare, Zach. You have used your talents not for self-recognition, but as a tool for support. You have shown us that being helpful and kind is not just about manual labor. It's about sitting with someone in their hardest moments and giving them a voice through your art. You have never let challenges like ADHD or dyslexia define your limits. Instead, you've been open about them, using your own vulnerabilities to make others feel welcome and understood. This, I believe, is part of a definition of being a servant leader. So, Zach, I charge you today to be that lucky charm. Not through chance, but through consistent, positive spirit you bring to every room. Compose a great life. Compose a great life. Continue to use your music and your empathy to heal and lead. And this is a big one here. Watch the clock. Remember that the most precious resource an Eagle Scout anyone has is time. Use it wisely to serve others. You're a young man of profound trust and exceptional talent. We're proud of the scout you have been, and I know I speak for your parents or myself, and we're excited for the man you're becoming. So good luck, and thank you.
I did Zach's Scoutmaster Conference 4 days before his birthday, so in his kitchen. So, and actually, one thing to note about Zach, although it was a small first-year class, he crossed over with my middle son Tony, and Zach is the last member of that class to get his Eagle Scout, but they all did. Every single one in that class got it. So. And now Ty Schaber's Eagle Charge will be given by current Troop 282 Bartle Camp Master Joe Athon. I'm sorry.
I'll try to be concise. This has been wonderful, and all these guys are sitting here going, we know already, we're great, come on, hurry up. I feel like I could do this for all of you, honestly. I mean, Zach, a young man of character that's rare. My lens is through the summer camp, as I said. So Zach, as I told you, between Will's mom and I, we've got 4 degrees in music at UCM. Let's talk. You know, John, a man of character who is remarkable, and you know, Harrison. I just want to say a quick note of thank you. I know I've said this before, but he was my senior patrol leader for Bartle last year, punching way above his weight class in terms of leadership and experience, and you did a great job. Thank you so much. And Carolyn, this is probably the most time we've ever been in a room together, but I feel like I know you because of everything I've learned from your mom and your dad and your grandfather, and of course the white-hot crucible of competition that is the Eagle Scout for you and your brother too. So. I definitely feel connected to all of you. And I'm here today, though, for Ty, my friend who asked me to come and speak in this important role. A little background, this isn't the first time I've done this. I did this once before, and it was for my oldest son, Ted. And just quick aside, great job, both Shannon and Matt, because even if all things in your life are solid and there is a cats in the cradle element to this that is very hard to get through and is very emotional. And there's a reason why it's probably the exception more than the rule for a parent to do this, because it's very emotional and it's very tight. So Ty, thank you for the chance to reset. And because when I did it, I was a bit of a blubbering mess. My son had picked his mentor, who was an old school Mikasay person and a bit of a legend in the musical community. He played with the Elders, and he played with Ida Macbeth for many years, and in another life he played with me, and we went many miles of musical journeys together. And he was Ted's music teacher, and he inexplicably passed away just before the charge, and I had to jump in and do it, and it didn't go well. I was ramming down my emotions in the way that my silent generation parents had taught, but it was rough. So I thank you for the chance to do it. I might well up again. It could happen. So anyway, in all seriousness, I'm good with dad jokes and taking a knee with these guys, but I'm honored to do this, and I want to just say thank you for that. For Ty, the trail to the Eagle was a little different, and so this is going to be a little different of a kind of a charge. It's usually described as a series of known upward steps, but for Ty, for you the trail wasn't steep, it was broken, okay? There were times during this journey when the world it might have probably felt like the world was looking at you, and they saw a kid with a difficult attitude or lack of communication, or no will to lead, or no will to try. And what they didn't see, and what you and your whole family was fighting to keep very close to the vest, was a young man who was navigating a war that you did not start. I'm going to talk about it today in plain language because the gravity of your journey demands it. It's not possible to see things like neurological damage from an act of violence that was never your fault, and there's no way to, for people from the outside looking in to convey hospital cadence visits via airplane. No way to convey the rewritten graduation plans or the reality of a brain that's literally rewiring itself when you're just trying to show up and be a scout and be a student and to just show up to school. See, I remember some things myself, Ty. I believe it or not, I was young once too. My kids don't believe me either. But I know from my own life that when trauma rewrites that brain chemistry, that simply showing up can often be a defiant act of will. I know from my life and that sometimes even the most well-intentioned of family divides can be existential for a young person to contend with. And I still remember what it's like to deal with many layers of these types of things all at once when it feels like the world's telling you it's your fault and that you, sir, are unworthy. Because this was my journey. And what I learned through that is that we, all of us, rarely know the depth of the water that someone else is treading. But Ty, I want to make sure today that you know what else happened while you were in that dark part of the valley. Even in those darkest times when you felt misunderstood or judged, you were not alone, sir. Troop 282 and a community of people who knew was right here. We understood the depth of what you were carrying, and we were quietly supporting you. We were rooted in that belief that Ty was still there, and he was fighting his way back, always. I watched you as things you love, like your music and the band program at East, slip through your fingers like sand, and I watched self-doubt and frustration that hit you because of that. And I also watched you keep going. And Ty, that's the whole ball game. That's all that matters. The resilience that you forged when that path was at its most twisted and broken. That's the secret. That's the cheat code that's going to propel you through life as an eagle. So let's get to it, okay? You're standing now at a future that's wide open, Ty, because of our justice system. You're going to have the resources and a chance to build your life entirely on your own terms, and that is a rare gift. It belongs to you because you didn't quit. This is your story, and this is how you aligned with these three big main things that we talk about in scouting. There's honor, service, and there's character. We talk about a lot of things in scouting, but for me, that's what it all boils down to. In terms of honor, you held onto that integrity when you were misunderstood or couldn't communicate and say what you were really feeling. You held on to it. In service, that's your superpower. That's the empathy that you now have and will always have for any other person who's struggling just to get out of bed, just to get to school. And of course, character. That's the humanity that you chose to keep even after a world was unkind or circumstances were unreasonable or unfair, still showing up being a pretty nice guy. So in this pantheon of all these things that you've heard today about what we want to be as a scouter and what we could be as a scouter and what scouting should be for us or as Americans, I'm just going to talk about one thing, and it's been mentioned before because I think it's what we all will strive for, and that's to be brave. That's not the absence of fear. It's not the absence of injury. It's just acting as if it's going into the fray, even though you don't know, just based on your feeling and your faith that your character is stronger than what your circumstances are. You have the ability to drive your own path now as an eagle, as a man, and you've already proven to yourself and to anyone else who wants to challenge it that you are able to survive that storm. Now I charge you to lead within it. Ty Schaber, take your place among the eagles, not because the path is easy, but because you were brave enough to take that tougher path. to stand up to a bully or to say what was right when somebody else could not, or to keep going and hold someone's hand when they are inconsolable and all others would not, because that is what it is to be strong. That's what it is to be brave. And that's what I think it is to be an Eagle Scout. Congratulations, buddy.
I never want to be the person to speak after Joe Athon, so now will Scoutmaster Felton, Eagle Coordinator Wagner, please come join me and conduct the Eagle Pledge.
That was fantastic. Thank you, everyone. John DeSalvo, Caroline Fink, Harrison Fink, Zach Foss, and Ty Schaber. We are now ready to have you all join the ranks of Eagle Scout. Please rise, give your attention, and raise the Scout sign with the following questions.
Do you realize that you will always be an Eagle Scout for as long as you live and therefore have a responsibility to act in accordance with the Scout Oath and law? If so, please answer, I do.
Do you accept this responsibility, understanding that you will be an example for your fellow Scouts, your troop, and the community? If so, please answer, I do.
Are you now willing to take the Eagle Pledge and to sincerely try to live by it? If so, please answer, I am.
As you know, being an Eagle Scout is a lifelong distinction. I would ask all Eagle Scouts today in attendance to please stand, along with our new honored Eagle Scouts. Give the Scout sign and repeat after us the Eagle Pledge found in your program. Please repeat after us. I realize as an Eagle Scout my obligation to fellow Eagles, my country, my home, and my God. I will do my best at all times to help others and to give back more to Scouting than it has given to me. I promise to live my life to the best of my ability in accordance with the Scout Oath and law. Would our 5 Eagle Scouts please come over to the center of the stage? By the authority vested in us by the National Court of Honor of Scouting America, as the Scoutmaster of Troop 282, it is my privilege and pleasure to pronounce that you, John DeSalvo, Caroline Fink, Harrison Fink, Zach Foss, and Ty Schaber are now officially Eagle Scouts. Ladies and gentlemen, Scouts and Scouters, please join me in congratulating these new Scouts.
Nice job. Why don't you guys take a couple steps down to the first rung, and I'd ask the parents to come join their Scouts. As physical reminders of your accomplishments, the troop has some gifts for you. Okay. The first is your Eagle patch. This patch will go on your pocket and replace your life patch. The second is your Eagle badge. This is a pin and can be worn now. So parents, if you would like, you can pin this on your scout over his life badge now. Life patch, excuse me.
This is the ribbon and the pin that they're getting.
Then there's the mother's pin. Scouts ask that you, if your mother is wearing her ribbon, please add it to her collection. And then finally, dads, the moment you've been waiting for, you finally get your own pin. After 7 courts of honor, you finally get a pin. Okay, other items in the box are palms, and palms are earned for every 5 merit badges that are above and beyond what's required for the rank of Eagle Scout. BSA allows new Eagle Scouts to receive palms at their Eagle Court of Honor for any additional merit badges earned before their Eagle Board of Review. John has earned a total of 35 merit badges, which is 14 more than the requirement for Eagle. He therefore has earned 2 palms, which will be shown by wearing a gold palm on his Eagle badge. Caroline has earned 35 merit badges, which is 14 more than the requirement for Eagle. She therefore earned 2 palms, which will be shown by wearing gold palm on her Eagle badge. Harrison has earned a total of 32 merit badges, which is 11 more than the requirement for Eagle, a little sibling rivalry. He therefore has earned 2 palms, which will be shown by wearing a gold palm on his Eagle badge. Zach has earned a total of 33 merit badges, which is 12 more than the requirement for Eagle. He therefore has earned 2 palms, which will be shown by wearing gold palm on his Eagle badge. Ty has earned a total of 31 merit badges, which is 10 more than the requirement for Eagle. He therefore has earned 2 palms, which will be shown by wearing gold palm on his Eagle badge. Next is a presentation of the Eagle neckerchiefs. I asked Mike Coffey to come forward and tell us the story of the 282 neckerchief, while Scoutmaster and Eagle Coordinator present our new Eagle Scouts their neckerchiefs, as well as Troop 792 presenting Caroline with her Eagle neckerchief. Parents, you can be seated.
While you receive your Eagle neckerchief, I'll remind you of its special meaning. The yellow, of course, you are familiar with as you've been wearing it since you first joined Troop 282. Troop 282 has a tradition that was passed down to us from one of the founders of the troop. When the troop was formed over 60 years ago, it was decided to have a plain yellow neckerchief with a 282 emblem on it. I'm looking for somebody who can demonstrate that for me. Here we go, one. Okay, good, excellent. In order to signify the star rank and giving back to Scouting, they chose the colors of the old troop of one of the founding adult leaders for the Star Neckerchief. He was a member of a Scout troop in the Philadelphia area and one of the oldest troops in the United States and also one of the founding troops of the Order of the Arrow, so it's deep in tradition. His old troop neckerchief was based on the tartan pattern and the colors you see on our Star neckerchief, which I think is right over here. Okay, very good. Our troop chose to use the tartan with the yellow border to signify the advancement to Star Scout, but also the connection and duty to the younger scouts of the troop. As our scouts advance, the eagle neckerchief reverses that pattern to show our yellow field with a tartan border. And that's the one that's being placed on our scouts today, right now. Again, this connects our eagles to where they have been and their duties to other scouts in the troop. As always, we owe a debt of gratitude to those who have gone before us, both scouts and leaders, and a duty to those who come after us. The tartan plaid also reminds you that your achievement of the Eagle rank was not reached without the involvement of a lot of assistance, guidance, and teaching by many others. It is your task now to pass that assistance, guidance, and leadership to the younger scouts in Troop 282.
Next, we want to acknowledge an important person in the Scouts' journey. Scouts, please present your mother with a flower and give them a nice big hug. Mothers are often the unsung hero in the Scouts' scouting life. They keep the schedules, drive the carpools, buy the gear, sew on the patches, and often much, much more. Thank you, moms. These flowers. Go to your moms. Mr. Wegner will talk about the importance of mentors in the Scouts' development.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The five of you, I think, can go have a seat for just a minute. And I asked you to put those mentor pins in your pocket, and in a little bit, you'll each get a chance to come up here and present those, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of the mentor pin that is in there, and just the importance of having mentors in our lives. We hear about this, and I want you to know that there's a difference between having an advisor and having a mentor. An advisor is somebody who can just give you advice. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. And isn't it ironic that we have financial advisors and not financial mentors? Stop and think about that for a second. Okay, see, they're all laughing. They know what I'm talking about, because the advice sometimes isn't very good. Mentor is different. Mentor, Ty, you had Mr. Athon up here. Mr. Athon, I think, is a very good mentor for you because he has walked in your shoes at some points in his life, and I can tell that, and I know from having talked with him and some of the things that are going on. So that's a mentor because he's been there. He's done it. He can talk to you and speak from that place, and that's what a mentor is all about. And so so I just want you to be thinking about that, and in a minute here, you're going to come up and tell us who your mentors are. But I think one of the charge givers talked about the village. Shannon, was that you talking about the village? Yes, the village in the Army, yes. So I want the five of you just to look out upon the room, because this is your village. This is the village that it took to get you here. These are all the people that have helped you in some way, touched your journey, touched a part of what you have done. Okay, and I know it's bigger than all the people that are here today, but Carolyn, I'm really impressed to see all of the support from 792 who's here. So that's your village, and I know that you are a part of their village. For all the other scouts that are sitting out here, you are a part of theirs. So just as you think about this and all of these people, and stop and think for a second, the amount of hours that it took to get you here today. Okay, so I know when they did their Eagle Scout projects, they had to track this. And some of them may tell you they put 30 or 40 hours in along with all the other help. Sometimes I've seen the tally list is over 300 hours if they really tracked everything. That's just the project itself. So stop and think about all the leaders, all the campouts you've been on, all those people that were here, and the tremendous amount of hours that it took to get you here today, right? It's a pretty big number, right? Okay, now multiply that by $25 an hour. That's a big number, right? Okay, now we're getting into the hundreds of thousands of dollars that it takes to get you here, right? So one of the questions can be, how do you pay that back? And it's not about you writing a check or working hard to give it back financially. It's about just giving back. And someday you becoming the mentor for somebody else, okay? So with that, Carolyn, let's start with you. Come on up here. Tell us who your mentors are. Hopefully they are here, and then they can come up. Mentors, if you're here, come on up, and the scouts have a pin for you.
My mentor is Miss Herrera.
All right, John, come on up.
You can actually stay up here. Mr. Wagner and Mr. Chair are my two mentors. Where do you want to go?
Just right down here will be fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here. All right, Harrison, come on up.
My mentors are my grandpa and my great uncle. Uncle Larry.
All right, Zach, you're next.
My mentors were my mom and Mr. Jera.
And Zach, I have every confidence that your mom earned that pin. That was mentioned earlier. I'll just leave it there. All right, Ty, come on up.
My mentor is Mr. Athon.
Joe, I'd like to tell you that I didn't see that coming, but I think I did. So, all right, congratulations to all of the mentors. And Rich, are we back to you, I think?
Okay, let's congratulate these Eagles one more time. Today, we heard comments from many people, including past and current leaders and adults who have been active in the Scouts, in these Eagles scouting careers. Now it's time to hear from our honored Scouts themselves. John, we'll start with you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming out today, making this possible. I know it takes a lot of work to get this all to happen and plan all this, so thank you all. Ever since I crossed the bridge into Boy Scouts, my eyes have been looking forward to a goal. For the last 5 years, I have been focused on achieving the next rank and working towards the goal of Eagle Scout. But today I turn around and I look back. I look back at all the meetings and campouts, all the camp food I had to eat, even though it was probably going to kill me, but it didn't. And I see this long and difficult road that it took to get here today. I see all these amazing people that helped me along the way, and so I'd like to thank them. Thank you to all the older Scouts who took me in and made me feel welcome. Thank you to all the younger Scouts that looked up to me and sometimes listened. Thank you to all the mentors, especially Mr. Wagner and Mr. Chera, for helping me along this final path to Eagle. Thank you to all of my Scout leaders for leading me and making this process much easier and possible. Thank you to all my SPLs for giving me all the hard jobs when I was younger. Thank you to Wade for representing the color guard for me today and being a great friend throughout this journey. Thank you to Mr. Lutz, Mr. Wagner, Harrison, Oscar, Wade, Parker, and my grandpa Lou DeSalvo for helping me with this Eagle Scout project. Took a lot of work. Thank you. Thank you to the Special Olympics for allowing me to work with them. And thank you to Tim Reeder. He wasn't able to make it today, but he helped me. He works the Special Olympics and made this all possible. So thank you. Thank you to everyone that donated to my Eagle Scout project and helped fund it and make it possible. Thank you to all my family for supporting me and cheering me on. Thank you to my sister, Evie, for putting up with me and supporting me. And finally, thank you to my parents. Thank you, Mom, for always being my #1 fan and putting in many hours of work into this ceremony and my entire Eagle Scout process. And thank you to my dad for encouraging me to work towards the goal of Eagle and kept pushing me and coming to all the freezing cold campouts when I was young. Sorry to anyone I forgot. Thank you. And without all of you, I would not be where I am today, and I would not be the person I am today. So thank you.
Now Caroline Fink.
I started my scouting career off with Girl Scouts, but I always felt like I was missing out on something. Harrison was in Cub Scouts, and he got to go on a few camping trips and got to build Pinewood Derby cars, and I was a bit jealous. These things always sounded fun to me. Then my sister joined 792, and I got to meet a lot of amazing people. And I used to come to the meetings and just sit in the corner. And when I was 10 years old, I finally got to go on my first camp out, which was the biking camp out. We biked 20 miles, and it was 90 degrees. And by the second mile, I just wanted to quit. But after the 10th mile, we stopped at an ice cream shop, and we all laid on the concrete outside to cool down. And that's when I realized that I was gonna stay in Scouts. At the time, it felt miserable, but looking back, it's really funny. Even though it was one of the worst campouts I've ever been on, and I'll never go on it again, it was also the beginning of a scouting career full of great campouts, meetings, and memories I'll never forget. Some of my favorite memories are the little things. On one campout, we spent time catching the frogs and fishing, and just enjoying being outside together. Other times, we would sit at the picnic tables and make crafts and just hang out and talk or play card games. Those simple moments end up meaning just as much as the big adventures, if not more, because of the friendship and connections I've made through scouting. Despite hailstorms and bats and lice, my 3 years at Bartle have been some of my best memories. Whether it was playing Mafia late into the night, putting tinsel in each other's and counselor's hair, or competing and winning some cardboard boat races. Those moments made camp unforgettable, and they showed me how fun and meaningful scouting can be. My Eagle project and serving as SPL are important parts of my journey. They pushed me to step up, be a leader, and take responsibility for my troop. Through my roles, I've stayed calm under pressure, made tough decisions, and put others before myself, and most importantly, made mistakes to learn from. I couldn't have done any of this without Mr. Van Sickle, Ms. Herrera, my parents, my grandparents, Mr. Kukis, who helped me with my Eagle project, and all the people in my troop. Each person has played such a big role in shaping my experience, and thank you all for guiding me, supporting me, and helping me grow into the scout and person I am today.
Lice? A piercing arrow? Lice? Okay, heard that right. Harrison, come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. When I look into this room, I see so many incredible people that led me through all these years to claim the rank of Eagle. Becoming an Eagle Scout is no easy task, so without all of you, I would never have made it this far. To all my Scout leaders and the adults who stood by me, thank you. You didn't just teach me how to tie knots or read a map. You taught me what it meant to lead, to be responsible, and to go into the world by myself. Mr. Kufkis, I want to specifically thank you for your hands-on mentorship, for helping me build those garden beds, and guiding me through the final and toughest Eagle Scout required merit badges. The Felton family. I'll never forget the day of my Eagle project, when things got tough and the hours felt never-ending, and you stayed until it was finally done. Your commitment during those 8 unforgiving hours showed me exactly what it means to be a true Boy Scout. Mr. Chera and Mr. Wagner, thank you for being my guidance through the tough paperwork I had to complete that led me to this podium today. Mr. and Mrs. Crum, thank you for your unwavering support. Having leaders who consistently believe in you makes all the difference when the trail gets steep. Mr. Athon, thank you for challenge at Bartle. You pushed me to become the best senior patrol leader I could be, teaching me that leadership isn't just about the patch on your sleeve, but the way you serve your troop. To my family, you are so important. Mom and Dad, thank you for setting the ultimate example of character and integrity every single day of my life. My grandparents, especially Gramps, thank you for stepping in to get me to meetings every time my parents couldn't, and investing so much time and energy into my scouting experience. To my great uncle Larry, thank you so much for being the best example of an Eagle Scout I could ever ask for. I hope I carry the title as well as you do. To my fellow and older Scouts who set examples on how to clean up after dinner or what type of fire structures to use on a camp out, thank you. When I joined Scouting 4 years ago, I was a different person. I've learned that being a Scout isn't just about what you do in the woods, it's about who you are when no one is watching. The leaders in this room have shaped my life in ways I'm only beginning to understand. You've taught me resilience, responsibility, and the importance of giving back to the community that raised you. Thank you for being part of my trail to Eagle. I may be receiving the medal today, but this honor belongs to all of us. Thank you.
And now Zach Foss.
I crossed over to Troop 282 in November of 2018 when I was just 11 years old, and I officially eagled out only 6 years from my 18th birthday on October 16th of 2025, almost 7 years after I joined Scouts. That's roughly 6 merit badge forms, 7 resales, 60 hours on the tree lot, over 30 campouts, 200 plus Scout meetings. Those nearly 7 years of my life add up to almost 1/3 of my life. That's wild. I never thought that I would become an Eagle. I've asked myself many times why I never just quit if I wasn't trying my hardest to Eagle out, and I wasn't sure I had the answer until months after I achieved Eagle. I think I just enjoyed the fun of scouting. Sure, becoming Eagle was fun. It felt great. I achieved something, but that's not what was important to me. What was important to me was those infinite memories I made in Scouts. The late nights, the evenings, the photos the excursions, adventurous hikes, restless nights, just the little moments that I had around Scouts. I want to thank all of the people that came and helped me on my journey. I want to thank you to Mr. Wagner for pushing me on to finishing my Eagle project and putting together a plan for me to finish on time. I want to thank Mr. Jones, Mr. Terra, and Mr. Felton for guiding me through each and every step. I want to thank Leo Vicuna, one of my best friends in Scouts, and his father, Mr. Vicuna, for being an important mentor. Thank you to my friends Carter and Savannah for pushing me and encouraging me to be an Eagle, or to become an Eagle. And finally, thank you to my parents and my family, especially my mom and my grandfather, who is here in spirit, for always believing in me.
I will say, Zach, you didn't think you were going to get it, but I didn't think you weren't. I don't think there was a single event that you missed during all of your time in scouting. So, Ty Schaber, come on up.
Thank you for being here. There are a few people I need to thank. Joshua and Jamie Eckridge from great Cub Scout leaders and setting an example for what scouting should look like. Joey Athon, thank you for an encouragement as the camp master and my mentor for taking the time to connect with me. You made a difference. To my aunt, uncle, and grandparents, thank you for your support during my Eagle project and cheering me on. And my mom, thank you for the patient nudges and sometimes the shoves that help me get across the finish line. I'm grateful for this troop and the leaders and volunteers. I'm proud to be an Eagle Scout. Thank you.
Great job, Ty. All right, let's hear it for these Eagles one more time. I now ask our senior patrol leader, Hattie Solomon, and our chaplain's aide, Walker Kerr, to come on up.
So after the closing benediction and retiring of the colors, we invite all of you to join us in congratulating these Eagles and their families at a reception for the reception downstairs. You can congratulate them in person and see personal displays which have pictures and souvenirs of their scouting career. Chaplain's aide, give our benediction.
As we conclude this court of honor, we pray that the Spirit connects us all, will all remain with us as we leave this place, reminding us to live with integrity, kindness, and service. May the lessons learned today continue to shape our lives and guide our actions. Bless those who have been honored today, and may their good deeds continue to shine brightly in the world. Amen.
Will everyone please rise? Color guard. Color guard's attention. Please retire the colors. Scout salute. Two, this Eagle Corps of Honor has concluded. Everyone is dismissed. Please join us downstairs for refreshments to celebrate our newest Eagle Scouts. Have a good day, guys.